Hey guys, so welcome to another video here on 67 Stang channel. I'm going to do something short and sweet here, but the other week I was cleaning out the garage, getting things a little straightened up. I may not tell it, but I took 2 truckloads of junk to the dump to get rid of things here. But anyway, in doing so, I found, in addition to the grease gun, which you may have seen the video on, which is, where's the grease gun at? It's back over there somewhere. I found a toolbox that I got from my dad that I think came from my grandfather. And I'm not sure where he got it from because, well, you'll see that in a second. Let's go take a look. Okay, so I've got this old toolbox. It's army green, olive drab color, and what's interesting is it actually has some paint or like a name on here. It looks like, can't tell if it's looks like G.J. Livingston on it. So that obviously that's not anything associated with my grandfather, so I don't know who this thing belonged to. So I know my grandfather was Army Air Corps and then later Air Force during World War II in Korea. And I don't know if he got this surplused, right? Or if he got it from one of his ground crew because he was a pilot. On multi-engine, he flew C-47s, also known as DC-3, B-25s, B-26s, a whole bunch of different prop-driven multi-engine aircraft. So maybe it was one of his mechanics. I don't know. Anyway, so I haven't really opened this and looked in it. I just found it and I'd stuck it up on a shelf. So let's open it up and see what we got inside, shall we? Okay, so we're gonna open it up here. Okay, got it open. What do we have in this treasure chest? I'm trying to hold, so we have looks like an old soldering iron. It's cloth wrapped power cord. It's, yeah, definitely cloth. Interesting. I'm not sure I would trust to use that again. It looks, and the cord looks like it's in good shape. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, what other neat little things do we have in here? Some 60 grit sandpaper. Some fine, does it say what grit this is? It says fine sandpaper. Okay, what other neat little gadgets do we have in here? Get down in here, let's see. Looks like a socket wrench of some sort. I don't know what that's for. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, here's something nice. Pair of vice grips. Okay, that's a good find. Definitely keep that. What else do we have down in here? What am I looking for? A massive coat hook of some sort. Interesting. Two things together here. So a little saw. Cool. A clip of some sort. A matching clip of some sort. A log splitter, a wedge. I'm going to put that back because that's keeping the whole thing from flipping over. Another box end wrench of some sort. Let's say the size on it. Looks about a 1/2 inch, maybe 9/16 if I had to guess. Back there. Oh, is that No, a manual for an old circuit tester that doesn't seem to be in here. Another little box end wrench. A clear ruler, plastic. And then a bunch of saw blades for some sort of reciprocating saw that I have. Okay. Let's put some stuff back so this doesn't flip over. Well, there we have it, guys. That was the short and sweet little unboxing video for this toolbox. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. If I'm going to try to clean it up or restore it. It does have some rust and stuff along the bottom, as you can kind of see down in here. But it seems kind of solid. The latches don't line up. Feels like the top here is bowed out some, which is, I guess, fixable. See how bad that rust is there, but would like to preserve it. I'm just scared I don't want to lose these markings on here. Anyway, kind of a neat little toolbox. Just thought I'd share that with you guys. So anyway, I'm gonna go back to doing stuff, and see you later. And guys, I've been working on the toolbox a little, cleaning it up. Got a bunch of rust that was on the bottom of here, kind of cleaned up. I know I'm going to paint it, but it's kind of raining outside, so I'm not. But it's interesting. It's kind of upside down, but this was apparently made in Henderson, Ohio. I think is USA. Definitely Ohio. Actually, I think on the top. Bring it this way. Oops, let's see if I can do this without knocking it off. Hamilton, I'm sorry, Hamilton, Ohio. You can see that up there is the Hamilton, Hamilton Metal Production Company in Hamilton, Ohio. Where that came from. I got the latches, so they worked. I kind of hammered and dollied the lid and the body some to get that to close. As you saw, this was bowed out pretty good. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. But okay, guys, I don't remember where I left off on this. So we were talking, or I had gone through, the toolbox here and done some work on it to start getting it back in shape, or the towel that's up there. But yeah, I had beat this part out to get the lid to shut, kind of align that back up, and worked on beginning sanding this thing up to clean it up, especially the bottom that is really rusty. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna keep going. I've got some spray paint that is probably not very close. We'll see. I'm gonna definitely tape off and make sure I don't cover up this original, stencil that's up here and all that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get it sanded down to clean it up and some more, and see if we can't get this whole box back into some usable shape and whatnot. So kind of like having this old metal toolbox, and see what we can do to bring her back. So yep, I'm going to get to seeing it. English can be hard. Yeah, I've been gone, guys. I've been out in Boise, Idaho for doing training. I was doing some leadership training and all that, and that's a long week of talking. Not that I don't like talking. I love talking. Enjoy it. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this, and you can kind of see where I'm starting today. Obviously, this is better than it was before, but we're gonna try to get her cleaned up some better. So let's see how this goes, shall we? Okay, guys. So I've been working hard on getting this thing, cleaned up. Mostly, again, trying to get rid of rust and loose paint and all. No point in trying to paint it back if it's, going to flake off. So I think I've done a pretty good job. You can really start to make out where it says the Hamilton Metal Products Company, Hamilton, Ohio, USA. So I wanted to clean that up. So when I spray paint it, oops, it doesn't get lost in the shuffle. So continued to get a little bit more on trying to get that to fit better so it closes good. You can see a lot of rust was down here, as one would expect, kind of down in these corners. Use the latch so I can flip it on its bottom. Right, so you can see worked hard, a lot of surfaced rust. Here, a lot of pitting on the bottom in here. I'm not sure if you can see that really well on the camera or not, but a good bit of pitting on the bottom, but nothing rusted through there. So got her good and cleaned up and scuffed up here, and then even worked on the inside. Right, so cleaned this up. Some of these trays were filled with a good bit of rust. Got that out. It's obviously not easy to clean these little trays. I debated, should I take this whole thing apart, undo rivets and all that stuff, and decided no, I wasn't going to do that. One, I don't have the decorative rivets and things that this thing has. I just have standard pop rivets. It works, it stays together, so I wasn't going to do that. I may try to tighten some up in a little bit, but anyway. There's hairs on the lens. Okay. And then, back in here in these corners, you can kind of see where the paint's gone. I tried to get in those corners back in there as best I could with what I had at hand. And what am I using? That's a good question. I got a bunch of sandpaper over here, of course the wire wheel on that, some brushes, metal brushes, brass and steel brushes there. I broke out my old hammer and dolly kit that I've used on the car, the car, right over there, right, the car. Anyway, so what I think I'm going to do now is go ahead and paint the inside. What I'm trying to decide after I paint the inside is on the outside. I've worked to try to clean up some of these little fittings and the corner fittings and make them shiny, because I think that's how it would have come brandy new. What I'm finding though, let's see if I can, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there seems to be multiple colors of paint that were on here. There's like a lighter green, obviously there's this darker foresty crepe green. There may even be some black and stuff in here. The other things I noticed, this handle was completely painted and it's got some metal parts here. And I don't know, these things here, these little corner pieces, they look like they were somewhat painted when I started cleaning rust off. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm just gonna paint everything green and treat it like I'm a traditional lower level enlisted man. Like when I was in the Navy, we did the least amount of effort to get the job done. And like I said, this was a military box. So I don't know, guys. I'm not sure at this point. We'll find out, I guess, as we go through the video. But we go ahead and do the inside first. Get it painted up and drying, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do on the outside. So I'm going to get taped up, and we'll spray the inside, see how that goes. Okay, here we go. Let's see how well this works. A lot of little crevices to get into. Okay, it went on, or it looked like it was going on much lighter than the color was in there, but I think it's drying, starting to look a little bit more like the darker green that was the dominant. Okay, now we let this, how much do we let this sit for the second coat? Meaning, probably a few minutes apart is what it says. So we'll come back and get that with a little bit to flash off, or whatever the right word is, and we'll come back at it and hit it again. By the way, I've decided that I am going to try to tape off the latches and the handle hold down, but the little corner things I'm not. That's what I'm going to do, because I think that's more in line with what it looked like it had been before it all got rusty and stuff. So that's what anyway, let that flash off and we'll come back to it. Okay guys, we got the inside painted all up. I think she's looking pretty good. Even got some of the outside painted as well, but I think that turns out pretty good. Is it an exact match for that original color? I don't think so, but as I said, I think it was painted multiple colors. So I'm gonna now get in and work on the outside a bit more. Gonna start with the bottom. I think, well, I'm gonna try to get those latches, I think, taped up a little bit better, cut back, not so rough as you see there, and then we're getting close to having this old toolbox looking almost new. I think so anyway. So I think it's pretty cool to take an old thing like this and get it back. And my goal here, I don't know if I said this already, but is to maybe use this like at car shows. Go ahead and put some of those tools that you should have, right? Some pliers, wrenches, screwdrivers, things like that, and keep them in the trunk. And it's a period correct toolbox, and have some, you know, period correct tools for a car that's that old, and have it there. So if I did need to wrench on something at a car show or on the road, whatever, it would be kind of cool to have that in there. So plus it came from my grandfather, so have a piece of him and the car that my mom and dad bought brand new, and so 3 generations kind of associated with the car. So pretty cool. Anyway, I'm gonna get back on this thing and we'll keep on moving, shall we? Okay guys, there we go. We got her all done up. I may put a clear coat on this later. I don't have it now. I didn't think about that when I got the paint, but we've preserved the stencil in here. So that's still there, and that's the main reason I want to maybe get a clear coat over there to keep that protected. I went ahead and just painted the handle up like it was before. That was there. You can see I left those unpainted there. And if we click this down, open this back up, the inside is looking really nice. All good. I straightened out some of this, so this back tray here, trying to hold this up and show you at the same time. So this thing here was way bent, so I got that straightened out, so that looks good. Straightened out these supports here for this tray when it sits down in there. Those were all kind of cattywampus, so we got that straightened out. We tried to straighten out this lip here. It's much better. It's not perfect, but it is better. And the lid shuts nice and good. The latches all work. She's good to latch. And of course, let me get underneath here. Flip this over. There we go. So there we go. The bottom's looking much better. That's where most of that rust was, down in here, but that's looking pretty good. But overall, guys, I think we've done a pretty bang-up job on getting my granddad's old toolbox back in shape so we can start using it. Like I said, my goal is to start putting some of the common tools that I use or have with me when I go to car shows. Right now, I've been throwing them in that bag right there, where it also has all my cleaning stuff and all that I use once I get the car show to, you know, doll up the girl, make her look good so others can see how beautiful she really, really is. But anyway, so we got that together. Like I said, I may clear coat it. Not going to happen today. We got some rain moving in, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way she turned out. I think she's a good looking toolbox, and she'll look good in this old wonderful looking car and kind of tie 3 generations together, right? Me, my dad, and my granddad. So yep, I think that's pretty exciting. So with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I know it's not my normal content, but still on track to pick up that engine that I may rebuild to put in here. So been trying to prep myself for that. And with that, guys, thanks so much, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all. Yeah, it turned out pretty good. I really do think that's turned out pretty darn good. And preserving that stencil from that military guy. Don't know who he is, but worth preserving anyway.